Dark Moon Rising. Now, just to be clear, there are two Dark Moon Rising movies, and both of them are werewolf films. This is the 2015 version. I am not talking about the 2013 version. Now, this movie clearly fancies itself as a kind of Twilight-style movie, which is hopefully going to be some kind of like franchise, but done on an extremely low budget. But you can the influences here are very, very obvious. So this is a hard movie to review in the fact that I'm going to show my cards here, and I'm struggling to come up with many positives for this film, to be quite honest, because this is a poor film. It is not offensively bad like certain films I've seen, but overall there's very little to recommend this film. The plot here is so convoluted and confused. Basically, it focuses on this kind of like young emo guy, basically, who just sort of discovers this world of werewolves and shapeshifters, basically, and comes kind of embroiled in it. And there's this sort of prophecy about this sort of female who gets born every sort of 1,000 or something like that. Basically, it's so sort of just like poorly kind of put together. It's very, very hard to follow, and it doesn't help that this film is unfortunately so poor on so many levels. The script is terrible. The acting is amateur. This film actually has Eric Roberts, and he's by far and away the best actor. And you know, he's kind of a mail-it-in actor at the best of times. Oh, the effects are mostly kind of CGI and kind of look very sort of cartoonish. It has a kind of I mean, I guess you would, if I had to say some positives here, it has a kind of Buffy-ish feel to it, where it's all kind of it tries to be kind of a fun type. All the kind of the kills and the kind of the characters are all sort of cartoonish, if that makes sense. And you know, I guess if you're really into your Twilight films and you're kind of like maybe your Buffy sort of stylized as well, you kind of may get something out of this. But honestly, I mean, even if you're a die-hard Twilight fan, I think you'll struggle with this film. And maybe, I guess, the only other thing I would say, if you're a young girl, there's probably lots of pretty actors here for you, lots of pretty boys, you know, to look at. So I guess that's the only other positive thing I would say. This is meant to be the first film in the trilogy, but that was a mistake. I feel they should have made this film first and made it as a kind of more of a contained story. And then if it did well, then I guess look at maybe doing sequels. But this was intended as part of a trilogy. But when you're kind of doing these kind of low-budget films, it just seems like an odd thing to do, to kind of plan this out when you haven't really sort of tested it, especially when you, unfortunately, get such kind of poor results on this. On the technical side, on an acting side, on the story side, there's major kind of problems in all of these factors. So unless you are just the absolute most die-hard Twilight fan or Teen Wolf fan or what's the other one, Vampire Diaries, and you're just crying out for some more, then you kind of may get something out of this, but it's still not going to compare to those kind of franchises that I've told you about. But it may sort of sate a kind of low-budget itch that you've been wanting to scratch for some time there. Like I said, it's not offensively bad. It does try to have this kind of fun appeal to it, I guess, and all the cast are pretty and everything. So, you know, there it is, a couple of scraping the barrel recommendations there, I can sort of tell you. But overall, this film is just not worth your time for most people. So I will give this movie a 2 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.